Good morning, everyone. First of all, I just thought we should extend another big round of applause to all the students who are here with us today, all tuning in from online, and all the teachers who've worked very hard to make this event possible. My name is Lasith Ranasinghe. I'm a junior doctor working in London, and I'm a very proud old Norvicentian. It really doesn't feel like that long ago that I was sat at the lower school listening to Chief of the Army, General Richard Dannett, address the school back at the 2007 Lower School Speech Day. A lot has changed since then, especially in the last year, but I can see that Norwich School remains a place where children can grow in mind, body, and spirit. I was at Norwich School from 2006 to 2014, after which I studied medicine at Imperial College London and then started work at Ealing Hospital in the midst of the COVID pandemic. In my spare time, I run a medical education-based charity called Make a Medic that runs courses for medical students in the UK and uses the money raised to support medical education initiatives abroad. That's quite enough about me. Today is about you. When I was asked to deliver this speech, I started reminiscing about my time at Norwich School and my years since. I enjoyed reliving fond memories of playing cricket on the lower close, muddy cup runs at Mousehold Heath, and inspiring Friday morning assemblies in the cathedral. These experiences molded me into the person I am today. All of you sat here right now, and everyone tuning in from home, have been through something that no school child has ever had to deal with in the past. The pandemic has meant that you missed out on a lot of experiences over the last year. As classrooms went online, sports were suspended, and we were forced to isolate in our homes. It's hard not to feel bitter about everything that was lost. There is a famous Chinese proverb, however, that can apply a positive spin to the COVID era. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. By testing what we consider normal, the isolation and frustration of the COVID era has made us all learn something about ourselves that will be of value throughout the rest of our lives. I'm still only 24 years old myself. I'm not going to pretend that I have it all figured out and that I'm a beacon of wisdom for children who are not that much younger than me. I did, however, write down 5 life lessons that I learned from my experience of the pandemic and my reflections of life at Norwich School. These are lessons that I wish I had known when I was at the lower school. Lesson number 1, there is no such thing as being grown up. When you're a child, anyone over the age of 18 is viewed as a grown-up, as if they have finished maturing and reached the end point of their development. In reality, there is no such end point. It is true that at some point you will stop growing vertically and may start growing horizontally. However, personal development is a continuous, lifelong process. You, your parents, your grandparents, and everyone else you have ever met is constantly getting things right, getting things wrong, and learning from their experiences. So don't be in a rush to become a grown-up, because there is no such thing. Number 2, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. You will not believe how much trouble this suit that I'm wearing has caused. I got caught in particularly thick London traffic yesterday and finally arrived home in Norwich at 8 p.m. after a 4.5-hour drive. I was thrilled to be back, and I was about to feast on my mum's cooking when she uttered the fateful words, "Where is your suit?" I then realized that it was hanging on the back of my bedroom door in London, where I'd initially placed it because there was supposedly no way of leaving my room without it. It really didn't take me very long to make the mistake of leaving home without my suit, perhaps 10% of the entire episode. The remainder of that episode consisted of my parents and I laughing about my absent-mindedness and catching up on the 6-hour return journey to and from London at the dead of night. Whenever anything goes wrong, remember that only 10% of the episode has played out, and you are in control of the remaining 90. I really do hope you like my suit. Number 3, people are more similar than they are different. I loved big match days when we used to get into a minibus and travel to Gresham's to beat them at cricket, rugby, or hockey. The sense of competition was exhilarating and made the experience all the more enjoyable. As you grow older, however, you will notice that people find new ways of dividing themselves across all sorts of strange lines, like race, religion, and nationality. These divisions are the root of a lot of problems across the world today, but you, and only you, can change that. I recently read a book called A Brief History of Everyone Who Ever Lived, written by a famous geneticist called Adam Rutherford, which stated that we only have to go back 3,400 years to find one person who is related to everyone on Earth. By that definition, we are all cousins of some sort, yet a lot of the time we may not treat each other as such. To all of you young people here today and tuning in from home, the leaders of tomorrow, please always remember the similarities first and realize that you may never know enough about someone else to explain the differences. Lesson number 4. We are phenomenally lucky to be alive at this time and in this place. Life on Earth has been around in some form or another for 3.5 billion years. Our primate ancestors began walking on 2 feet around 3.1 million years ago. Humans, as we know them, have been around for 200,000 years. We've only been cultivating food for 10,000 years. The internet has been around for 28 years, iPhones for 14, and all of you for less than 12. It really is remarkable, then, that we exist at a time when many diseases can be cured or treated. We have reliable access to food, fresh water, and sanitation, and we have the internet as an endless source of information and a means of keeping in touch with distant relatives. Of course, these factors vary depending on where you are in the world, but you and I are incredibly lucky to be in a society and at a school that nurtures you. Make the most of this amazing time and become the person that you want to be. My final point is by far the most important. You have all achieved so much in such a short space of time, and I'm thrilled to have been invited to celebrate your achievements with you today. I absolutely believe that such wonderful achievements should be cherished, but it is also important to remember that life isn't just about collecting various accolades. I wish you all the very best for the future, and I have absolutely no doubt that you will all grow into wonderful people who will make a huge amount of positive difference to our world. I'd like to leave you with a quote by Maya Angelou that motivates me daily and summarizes my 5th and final life lesson. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you.